If you've been on a deficit, doing your cardio and eating pretty clean but your belly fat just won't go away, this video is for you. I'm going to show you exactly why belly fat is the last thing to go, and I promise you it's not doing more cardio or it's not more willpower. And it's something that nobody actually talks about. And it's the same system that I used on myself, my client Dwayne, my client Ryan to actually lose their love handles. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's been working against you and the exact steps to actually fix it. Nothing crazy, but what actually works. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, let's dive into the actual video. All right, it's gonna be a nice little Google slide presentation for you guys. Bro, it's like I'm still in school, you know what I mean? But in this video, like I said, we're gonna be covering belly fat and why 90% of people never actually lose it and what actually works. Okay, so the truth is you're doing everything right. So why won't it move? Deficit, cardio, you're eating clean, every part of you is changing except your stomach, right? You think you're on a calorie deficit, you think you're hopping on a treadmill, incline cardio 12 to 2.5 speed for 30 minutes, you think you're eating clean whole foods, and you thought that that would work, but for some reason your belly fat just isn't moving whatsoever. Okay, it's not a discipline problem, right? What most people think, I'm just not disciplined enough, so they push harder, they do more cardio, they go on a bigger deficit, they do like an aggressive cut is what most people call it, and they think that they need more willpower. But what's actually true is that belly fat is a stress problem too. Okay, you can do everything right on paper and still not see your stomach change. All right, working harder without fixing the real problem makes things worse, not better. Okay, the real reason, all right, why belly fat sticks around even when you're doing the work. Sorry guys, you guys need to understand that I'm a real human being too, so I'm not like some AI, so I make some mistakes. All right. Your body's stress hormone. In small doses, cortisol helps you, okay? Little small doses, right? Cortisol, like people think that high cortisol is like fully bad, but sometimes like when you wake up, you have high cortisol, use that, go get some sun, go to the gym, right? It gets you out of your bed, gets you through a hard workout, like I just said, right? In long doses, right? Work stress, working too long, right? Too much hours, and you have a full-time job, bad sleep, and life pressure. Day after day, cortisol stays high. Your cortisol isn't supposed to be high all day. Like it's supposed to be like this balance of, yes, it's high in the morning, and later at night you gotta calm down. Okay, take some ashwagandha. Right, your body reacts. Okay, it thinks it's in danger. It holds on to fat around your stomach to protect itself. Okay, why sleep matters more than you think. It keeps cortisol high. Okay, bad sleep stretches out the stress response longer than it should last. I'm gonna read that again. Bad sleep stretches, bro, is this a tongue twister? Bad sleep stretches out the stress response longer than it should last. It messes with your hunger, all right? It disrupts the hormones that control how hungry and full you feel. Oh, I get bad sleep, and for some reason I start craving things late at night. It's probably because your sleep is so messed up, all right? It breaks your plan quietly. You eat off track without even realizing it, then wonder why nothing moved. All right, stress and bad sleep don't replace the calorie problem. You really think that, like, you're tracking your calories, Monday to Friday, but the fact that you have so much stress, the fact that you have such bad sleep, it's messing with your hunger hormones. And now Saturday and Sunday comes around and you're binge eating. Saturday and Sunday comes around and you fall off track. All right, and they tell themselves, oh, I've been in a calorie deficit this whole week, but I still can't lose weight. It's probably because you weren't on a calorie deficit the whole week. All right, they're what keeps quietly breaking it. All right, cortisol isn't the villain for everyone. Sometimes it's simpler. All right, genetics, activity, and time carried. Some belly fat just comes down to genetics. All right, some people lose belly fat in their arms, they carry the belly fat longer in their love handles. It's all genetics. All right, and your activity level and how long it's actually been there. All right, but if you're already dialed in, if you're already locked in, stress and sleep are the missing piece. All right, if you've been tracking your calories, you've been doing this, stress and sleep is the number one thing that you should fix. All right, this is the pattern I see over and over with the guys that I actually coach. All right, you guys saw like the before and after with the guys I coach. You get the point. So here's what actually works: the system. All right, built to protect your deficit and not replace it. All right, none of this works without one thing: obviously a fucking calorie deficit. Right, most people tell you, oh, you should try keto, you should try carnivore, you should try eating only whole foods. The reason why those dieting tricks or those fad diets actually work is simply because, you know, it's indirectly putting you within a calorie deficit. When you eat only whole foods, you know, you feel fuller for longer, and you know, you don't eat as much, and it's most likely lower calorie because it's not processed with so much oil. You're still put within a calorie deficit. When you're, you know, on a carnivore diet, when you're eating only meat, guess what? Protein keeps you full, right? And you're eating so much meat, pause, you're eating so much meat, it keeps you full. And when it keeps you full, you don't eat as much. And when you don't eat as much, you're on a calorie deficit, all right? The whole point is that you won't lose weight whatsoever unless you're on a calorie deficit, right? Everything below exists to protect that deficit and make it easier to stick to, okay? So this is the system, part one. Number one is small, steady deficit. Not some extreme deficit of like, oh, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds, so now I'm gonna go on a 1,000 calorie deficit. No, okay? A brutal deficit adds up stress on top of stress, all right? Why do you think people that lost weight doing some crazy diet, yes, they lost some good weight, you know, 20 pounds in a week, that's crazy. 20 pounds in a month, whatever, but they gained it all back. Why? Because they weren't in a steady deficit, right? They weren't doing something that was actually sustainable. And what's sustainable? A steady deficit, okay? Number two is enough protein. About 0.7 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight keeps you full and protects your muscle, okay? The last thing that you want to do on this whole calorie deficit cutting down thing is lose muscle while you're losing weight, all right? You want to make sure that you're losing weight and building more muscle. When you lose weight and you build more muscle, guess what? You're losing fat, okay? The last thing you want is, you know, yes, I lost 20 pounds, but you still have that weird skinny fat physique, right? The whole point of you getting in shape, the whole point of you going to the gym was to tone up your physique, not to become a huge bodybuilder, but to actually look good in the clothes that you're wearing, all right? Number three is protect your sleep, all right? Make sure you schedule it. It's non-negotiable. The most underrated tool for stubborn belly fat is your sleep, all right? And it's, bro, the best tool in life in general, and not even just fitness, man, just sleep overall, all right? The system, right? This is part two. Lower your stress when you can. Go for walks, have some quiet time, saying no to extra things. It all adds up, okay? Number two is you lift heavy and you stay consistent. Muscle keeps your metabolism working even on hard weeks, okay? If you're building more muscle, it helps with your metabolism. When you have better metabolism, you can eat more. When you get the point, okay? So here's what you have to do this week. You pick one bedtime, stick to it for the next 7 days, okay? It doesn't really matter. I mean, I watched some like podcasts on this. It doesn't really matter the on the time that you sleep and you wake up. There's no like perfect time. But what's actually good for you is sleeping and waking up at the same time. All right? Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't matter if you go to sleep at 9 a.m. or sorry, it doesn't matter if you go to sleep at 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., right? As long as you have a consistent schedule where you wake up at, you know, 6 a.m. and you go to sleep at 11. If you can, you know, stay consistent to that, that's perfect, okay? Because everybody have, you know, different schedules, and you can't go to sleep at 8 p.m. if you finish work at 8:30. You get the point, right? Number two is to track your protein for 3 days, right? Just 3 days, right? Just to see where you're really at. And then number three is add one 10-minute walk on your most stressful day of the week, okay? Here's the thing. Walking is so simple, right? People like try to overthink it, like, oh, I'm gonna start going for runs, I'm gonna start doing some crazy cardio. No, just go for walks. Just go for walks. A nice little 10-minute walk after you finish eating. A nice little 10-minute walk when you're stressed out. Park further from the gym, right? If you have like an elevator that you take to work, or like you use an elevator, take the steps. I mean, you use the stairs, all right? Get some steps up, all right? And don't touch your deficit. Keep it steady and let it actually work, all right? So ask yourself this. Before you actually click on this video, ask yourself this, right? Am I really in a deficit? Or do I just think I'm in a deficit, right? Number two, sleep. What does my sleep actually look like this week, right? Number three is your stress. Where is your stress quietly running, right? Sorry, where is stress quietly running my choices, all right? And that's about it, guys. You know, if this video helped you guys out, you guys learned a lot, DM me the word fit on Instagram. Let's build, you know, this life for you, okay? And this is the wrong Instagram handle, by the way, guys. Let me fix this up. That is not my Instagram handle. That's my YouTube handle. Christian is fit. So if this is something that you've been struggling with, losing weight, blah blah blah, you get the point. DM me the word fit on Instagram, Christian is fit, and I'll see if I can help you out just like how I helped out my other clients that you guys saw in the intro of the video. Other than that, guys, there's gonna be like a full guide down below this video on how I lost 20 pounds of fat while packing on more muscle. Give that a watch, it'll help you guys out a lot, okay? And do the little things like, comment, make fun of me for stuttering in the comments, just so it can boost up the video, okay? Other than that, you guys have a good one, and peace out.